Takumi finds himself transported to another world, standing before the goddess Noan. The first thing she does is apologize sincerely, explaining that his summoning was a complete mistake. She reveals that when the summoning spell is used, it usually targets a random batch of Earth's losers to bring them into another world. However, Takumi's life was actually going well, so he was never supposed to be included. Due to a mishap by the Holy Cydonia Empire, he was accidentally swept up along with everyone else. Because Takumi wasn't meant to be summoned, Noan brought him directly to her instead of sending him to Cydonia with the other heroes. Takumi asks if she can simply send him back to Earth, but Noan explains that returning is impossible. Out of anger at Cydonia for using a forbidden summoning spell, she erased the spell entirely from this world's magical laws. As a result, no one can travel between worlds anymore, including Takumi. To make matters worse, Takumi learns that the summoning technically killed him, and he is now in a disembodied state. Panicking, he listens as Noan reassures him that although she cannot return him to Earth, she can give him a new physical body and help him start over in this world. To apologize for her part in this mess, she also offers to give him a divine blessing. With no other choice, Takumi accepts. Noan excitedly directs him to check his status screen to preview the life he'll have. When he looks, he discovers she plans to give him a 17-year-old body despite him being 40. Noan brushes it off, saying the details don't matter. More importantly, he must choose a job. He can take a combat class such as swordsman, knight, or hunter, or a non-combat production class. Since he wants to avoid fighting, Takumi chooses a production-focused job. Noan embeds the job into his soul and grants additional blessings, but forgets to give him any tutorial. She sends him off, and he crash lands into a forest. After getting up, he sees his reflection in a river. He's now young, healthy, and his arthritis is gone. Checking the bag Noan left him, he finds food and money, enough to survive for now. Looking through his status, he realizes Noan gave him an absurd amount of useful skills. He tests elemental magic by saying, "water ball," and a sphere of water appears instantly. Fire, earth, and wind magic also work perfectly. While walking toward what he hopes is a nearby settlement, he spots a stick on the path. Using appraisal, he learns it's Trent wood, valuable for making magic staffs and spears. Testing his modeling skill, he turns it into a spear. He then searches for other materials and finds many useful plants. Remembering he has an item box, he stores everything inside. Suddenly he hears a scream. A little girl bursts out of the bushes, begging for help as a huge horned rabbit charges toward her. The rabbit rushes at Takumi with terrifying speed. Takumi panics and thrusts his spear forward. By pure luck, the spear strikes the rabbit's head and kills it instantly. He receives the warrior job title, which he didn't want, but ignores it for now to check on the girl. The girl introduces herself as Molly. She explains she was gathering herbs but wandered too far from Boar Village. Excited to hear there's a village, Takumi asks her to guide him. Before leaving, Molly suggests taking the rabbit meat since it's delicious. Takumi stores the rabbit in his item box, unintentionally revealing his secret ability. Meanwhile, the other summoned people appear in the Cydonia Empire, confused and unsure of where they are. A woman approaches, calling them heroes, and claims they were summoned to save the world. She introduces herself as Empress Elizabeth of Cydonia, but her expression immediately gives off a shady vibe. One girl, Aine, activates her unique skill, the Blessing of Revelation, which tells her instinctively that Elizabeth is a traitor and cannot be trusted. Back in Boar Village, Molly's parents thank Takumi for saving their daughter. Her father, Banga, and her mother, Martha, are impressed that he managed to travel alone. Takumi asks if he can stay temporarily since he has nowhere else to go. They gladly agree but tell him the village has no inn. Instead, the villagers decide to build him a small house. Takumi helps by using earth magic to flatten the land. It nearly knocks him unconscious from mana depletion, surprising the villagers with how easily he used such powerful magic. They finish building his house by the next morning, and Takumi uses his crafting skills to furnish it. Takumi visits the village blacksmith, Boron, who gives him some ores to practice with. Using alchemy, Takumi extracts metal from the ores instantly, something that would take hours with a furnace. However, the process drains enormous amounts of mana. He keeps practicing until Molly discovers him collapsed on the floor. Banga and Martha revive him with a potion and warn him not to overwork himself. Over the next few days, Takumi extracts piles of iron, silver, copper, and even gold. He trains under Boron and forges a sword, leveling his blacksmithing to 40. Moving on to potion making, he borrows a basic potion from Banga and recreates it using herbs. His potion looks more vibrant and magically infused, but he is unsure if it's safe, so he begins building poison resistance by eating questionable things and then healing himself repeatedly. After hours of stomach-churning suffering, he earns the purification skill. While recovering, a massive boar appears. Takumi tries to fight it, but his spear breaks instantly. None of his magic hurts it, and a deadly poison spider creeps up behind him. Just when all seems lost, the spider attacks the boar instead. With one last idea, Takumi jumps and uses alchemy on the boar's head during its charge, breaking it down and killing it. He then heals the injured spider. A notification appears. He has unintentionally tamed it. The spider gives him big, adorable eyes, and he reluctantly accepts it as his pet, naming her Maple. Returning to the village, Takumi brings the giant boar, astonishing everyone. They're even more amazed by the poisonous spider he tamed, something no one has ever done. A feast is held in his honor, and Banga suggests he sell the boar materials in the nearby city of Bolton. Meanwhile, goddess Noan happily watches Takumi's progress. Another goddess questions why Noan gave him such special treatment, a unique body, rare blessings, and even sending him back a full year before Sidonia's summoning. Noan simply says she did what felt right. The next morning, Takumi wakes up tied to his bed and realizes Maple is the reason.